Okay guys, so we'll look into this question, and the question basically says that three persons A, B and C start traveling from city P at 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m. respectively. The three reach the point Q simultaneously and continue beyond that point. C reaches the point R first and turns back immediately towards P. 30 minutes after turning back, he crosses A. If the distance between P and Q is equal to the distance between Q and R, then the time at which all three reach Q is. You know, in the very first glance of this question really appears, fairly innocuous. But the point that I'm trying to say is this is a difficult question. Okay, difficult in the sense that you will always expect this type of question to be asked in a test setup. Okay, either a mock test or something of that sort. Okay, so this will never be tested in easy type of question, easy type of tests rather. So let me try to figure out the situation. So what they're asking you is, so let us draw the scenario. So this is P. Okay, this position is P and this position is Q. This position is R. A, B and C started at 4 a.m., 5 a.m. and 6 a.m. Let me see why this is taking so much time. Okay, so sorry for that interruption. So the question basically says that all of these fellows A, B and C reach at this position simultaneously. What this means is all of them are at the same time present at Q. It also means that the speed of C will always be greater than that of speed of B and speed of A. So much more than speed of A and pretty more than B. Now the first half of the story is not going to help us at all. We need to understand the second half of the story, which says that when all of them reach at this position and they start, their usual journey. So A started and then, B started. However, what happens with C is C reaches this position. So obviously C will reach that position early. And then what happens is C started, again returning to this position Q, thereby meeting, suppose this is W. When C is coming back in this direction, C meets A at W, okay, exactly 30 minutes after, starting. So exactly 30 minutes after starting, C is meeting W. Okay, so far so good. The question now will become a little interesting. Okay, so now understand this thing very clearly. One thing that I have to understand no matter what is that the time taken by T will always be 2 hours. Suppose I'm assuming that the time at which the difference of time, rather, what is the difference of time? So the difference of time between C and A is 2 hours. So suppose C takes T hours to reach Q. Okay, I'm using this lingo now. So suppose C takes T hours to reach Q, A will take T plus 2 hours. And where is this 2 hours coming from? Obviously because A is starting 2 hours, has started 2 hours early, and yet they are reaching the same time. Okay, I hope this makes sense. Now, having understood this, and just to put things into context, I just wanted to add ki, but sir, isn't it that newbies can ask this type of question, that but sir, A started at 4 a.m. Isn't that A should get the T and C should get T plus 2? No, we always understand this thing, that if the speeds are higher, time will be taken less. And I have already told you that since after starting 2 hours, okay, there's 2 hours of delay that C has, the speed of C is much more than that of A, and yet C is able to cover that much distance. So speed is greater for A compared to C, speed of C is greater compared to A, so the time taken by C will be less. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Now the story, we have to backtrace the story. Okay, this is very important. Okay, so this is backtracing. This is something that will be used in almost all the entrance tests, all the mock tests. Okay, this is very important. The first part of the journey is not going to help me at all, so the next part can help me. Now understand this thing: wherever A and C goes, okay, wherever A and C goes, the difference of time between them will always be 2 hours. Okay, so the difference of time, always understand, the difference of time will be 2 hours. And why is that? Because of this initial preliminary condition. Now the first part of the question says that C has traveled from Q to R. Obviously he sprinted his way all the way till R and then came back. Okay, now understand the story. A is still continuing with his distance, while C was returning back. Okay, at this position, while C was returning back, A was still somewhere, and the time difference is still 2 hours between them. I hope that makes sense. Okay, if you're not able to understand that, probably pause the video right now and you can understand that. Okay, so the moment that C started turning back from P towards A, and they met at 30 minutes, this 30 minutes is for whom? I ask you, this 30 minutes is for whom? And if you can answer this question, this the entire set is solved. This 30 minutes is for C. So what will be the time? Now I ask you, what will be the time for A to do what? To traverse this distance. Okay, you always have to take distances, because it would not be the distance that A has already covered so far. I am only concerned between that specific distance, which is WC, which C has traveled in 30 minutes. How much time will A travel? Obviously in 2 hours. I hope that makes sense. But 30 minutes has already been done by this fellow C. Now the difference is 1.5 hours. Okay, or 1 hour 30 minutes you can say. Instead of 30 minutes, I could have also written this thing as 0.5 hours. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Now I think this can 0.5 hours is something that C does, and 1.5 hours is what A does. Now if I ask you, ratio of A ka time is to ratio of C ka time. A takes 1.5, C takes 0.5, the ratio will be how much? 3/1. Is this going to help me? Okay, let's see. Now from this point onwards, I can think of some other ways, but for somebody who is totally a newbie to this CAT CAT preparation, this thing, what I will say is, I know that AT we have already assumed is T plus 2 and CT is T, and this is equal to the ratio 3/1. So if I cross multiply and if I do my algebra a little bit, I will get T is equal to 1. Now T is equal to 1 is what? Because we were dealing with hours, this T is 1 hour. In other words, the time taken by C to reach from P to Q, or you can also say from this to this position, will be 1 hour. So this will always be 1 hour. Okay, so the time that C takes to reach from this position to this position is 1 hour. Similarly, that will be the same thing for this 1 hour. Okay, P to Q. So the question that has been asked to you, if distance and all that is, then the time at which all the three reach Q is, so this will be 1 hour from C, the starting point, the starting time of T, 1 hour from starting time of T. That is, I'm reiterating myself several times so you guys can understand this thing. So this will be 7 a.m. and if this is 7 a.m, this position will be 8 a.m. If they had asked you that exactly tell me at which point A and C will meet, so that will be 8 30. So there are many questions that can be created out of this particular question. I hope this is clear. If this set is not clear, you can comment it down. You can ask me several times. I can help you with this. So you just need to understand that these are nothing but the concepts of proportionality. If you understand proportionality in its very crux, you will be able to answer most of the question. Okay, I hope the explanation made sense. I hope this video made sense. If it did, please tell me that. Okay, and that's it, guys. Thank you very much for sticking with me.